Hey everyone!
Guess what day it is?
It's travel day.
Yay, travel day.
So today we thought we would take you along on our teardown process. We've been asked several times by friends and folks who have been, in our surroundings in different campgrounds as we've traveled. We realized the last time we pinned up and left, we had a bit of an entourage, if you will, people asking us questions. And so we thought, well, if they're asking questions, maybe you guys have some questions about our teardown process.
Now, this is a disclaimer. We are not, we don't have a checklist or anything, and that's probably a bad thing because it's probably a bad thing. But we've been doing this for 9 years.
Yep, almost 10.
Almost 10 years, and we're pretty used to it. And we don't recommend not having a checklist. You probably should have a checklist. Gilles got a very big,
I have a good mental checklist, and it involves and consists of many mistakes
I'm
made.
going to cut him off and I'm going to say the word I'm looking to say. Gilles very anal about things. And he's very particular about things. That's why he picked me.
Oh wait, this has to be here.
So, as a result, a lot of mishaps and stuff get avoided because we have him. I basically many times just step back and let him do his thing.
Now, we're not immune to mistakes because we have made mistakes.
We have.
And those mistakes are ingrained here and they'll probably never happen again. Never touch wood. So
anyways, all this to say, this is our setup, our teardown. This is what we do every single time.
Biggest thing for the inside, we're not going to go into the nitty-gritties of how we put stuff in what cupboard, but we'll bring to your attention the fact that every pantry, cupboard, drawer that has articles within it is covered low and wide, corner to corner, side to side. We want to avoid as much as possible any movement of any of those, dishes or glasses or pantry items.
We don't stack anything. Everything, like Gilles says, is just on one level. We make sure there's no glass on glass. So I have a lot of these foam things. Oh, I wanted to take one out to show it, but
That's okay.
Anyways, we have a lot of these foam things that we wrap all of our dishes in. We don't live in plastic just because we live in an RV. We have real dishes. And I just make sure everything is wrapped very well when we're traveling.
Right.
And so far, we've never had an issue.
From our glasses and mugs, which are all wrapped up, to our plates and bowls and all the dinnerware items in the drawer and within the pantry. They have sheets in between each layer, so there's no clinging whatsoever. Our pantry for other larger goods is fairly full. That's in part because we are full-timers, I would say. So that's basically it as far as the inside is concerned, and nothing is left on any countertop anywhere.
And we're going to bring you guys through and kind of show you that.
Yeah, we'll just
real quick. Show you what it looks like when it's completely bare.
Right. So, I guess let's take you outside and show you what we do outside.
Did we go on too much? Can you cut all that out?
I think so. Okay, moving to the outside. I'll just kind of go through briefly all the steps first, and then we'll do individually each one of them. So the first thing is when you're set up for camp, obviously everything that's out needs to be put away, meaning carpet, lawn chairs, barbecue, any of those accessories. So that I've already done. Each one of your rigs and setups will be a little bit different in that case. Then we're gonna get the truck ready. I typically take care of the back seat for the dogs and open up the tonneau cover, make sure that my rock tamers are on. And then from there, I'll start my walk around. But one of the steps that we left for you today is the bike. So we're gonna put the bike away and strap it down in place so that you can see what that looks like before we pull out. Once we've gone around and checked all the compartments to make sure that they're locked, check the windows to make sure that they're closed, then we're gonna disconnect all of our lines.
little tight there, Jill.
Yeah, this part is definitely tight. So now the front is secured. Now we have straps for the back as well. Okay, one final check. Good to go. Okay, I pretty much lock all of my compartments and cabinets. Now while I'm here, I also double check my ladder, the extension ladder and the built-in ladder. So this is solid. And we stow away the ladder. That's it. So now I'm going to go along the curbside and I'm going to check front to back, top to bottom. I'm going to check windows, I'm going to hit the propane, I'm going to check all the compartments to make sure that they're all locked. So I'm going to go down on one side and then we'll do the other. All right, now we're going to disconnect our services. At this particular location, I was not able to stretch our sewer hose for drainage. We weren't here very long, so we were okay with the tanks. We're going to dump on our way out. I'll show you where that hose is stowed, but for this location we've got water and power hooked up. So at this point we're ready to disconnect the water and then the power as well. Another thing I do typically when we're in this situation at this point is I will flip this from city to dry camping, because while we're traveling we're going to be using water from our tank, our fresh tank. Roll up the hose.
I think this is important to show our viewers your nice organization here.
All right, so I've got one compartment. At the top will be for our power. The second compartment is for water. And the third compartment is for different accessories, like hoses and pressure regulators and garden. I got my 50 to 30 adapters in here. I got a spare lock, all kinds of different things. These can just go here for now. Okay, now we can get the truck ready and we'll bring in the rear jacks, put all the blocks away, and then we'll get pinned up. Okay, now I have moving blankets on the seat because we have one of our puppies who occasionally gets sick while we travel. So I want to make sure that everything is covered in the event of an issue. And I also have, of course, their baskets that they can lie on and that we get set up here. Last but not least, I don't like Doc roaming in the front, which he likes to do, so I open up the armrest. So that's sort of the barrier. So while we're getting ready and we put them in here and the truck is running to keep it cool, they're not going to jump in the front seat.
And then we put our briefcases and stuff in.
Right, let me get those. That's it. Oh yeah, one more thing, pin lock. That needs to come off too. Okay. Now here's our auto leveling system. We're going to turn the system on. Green light. Green light means go. Now we hit hitch height, and we basically let it do its thing. Flashing green light means system working. Rear jacks have all come up. We're only on our front jacks now. We should be at our last height recorded before we auto leveled. Now we put our blocks away. Now we start the truck. I'm winded. Must be the elevation here. We start the truck, get it cooling, put the dogs in the back seat, and then Mitch will hop into the driver's seat for the actual pinning process. Jaws are locked. Okay, so in my case, once we're actually pinned up and the pin is locked in place, that's usually when I do my pin test. I don't put weight on it. First, I'll just do it as it is, as it stands right now. Okay, tug test. Good. Good. All right, now that we've done our tug test, we can retract the front jacks. Wheel chocks are still in place for all of this process. That'll be the last thing to get out before we pull out. There we go, jacks are up. I'm gonna take those last two blocks, put them in the truck, connect the trailer brakes, connect the safety cable, and then do one more walk around before we get going. Okay, so like I said, now everything's hooked up, everything's pinned up. We've done our tug test. I've just connected the trailer brakes. I've asked Mitch to turn the hazards on so I can go check the lights, and I'm going to do one last walk around, making sure that all the compartments are locked and making sure that the windows are closed and everything else. One important step that I missed is the tires. I always check tire pressure before the morning of when I travel, when the tires are cold and the sun hasn't been beating on them. So that I've already done. I didn't catch that on video, sorry, but I do check the tire pressure. So we'll do our final walk around and we're ready to go. We do have to stow the steps, of course, and close the door.
What are you doing now?
No matter how many times I do this, even though I've done it so many times, now I kind of wish I had a checklist because I feel like I forgot something. I'm just going through, make sure everything's off. I've already walked around the rig 3 times. We're good, we're good. We're good to go.
I can never do that. How come they're so stiff?
Just like everything else, as you get old, you get stiff. So one other step after I've gotten the truck ready, the truck needs to be in tow haul. I need to turn my engine brake on, and then I do a trailer brake test. I usually travel about 10 kilometers an hour, and I'll squeeze my trailer brake. If I feel as if that was enough braking power, I leave it. If I need to crank it up a little bit, I crank it up. Crank it down. But it's been pretty consistent. And that's it. Thanks for watching. If I missed anything, or if you have any comments, or questions, or concerns, please leave us a comment. Love to hear your thoughts. And if anybody out there who's got a little more experience than me wants to offer some suggestions, be happy to take your suggestions. Make sure we don't curb our tires.